Ever wondered how coffee works on your brain, why that first sip in the morning can make you feel so alert and ready to face the day? Well, let's unravel the magic of coffee together. When that warm, aromatic liquid touches your lips, it's not just your taste buds that get excited. The star of the show, caffeine, begins its journey. As you sip your coffee, caffeine is promptly absorbed into your bloodstream through the lining of your mouth, throat, and stomach. Within about 15 minutes, it's traveled around your body and arrived at an important destination, your brain. Now here's where the real magic happens. Your brain is a bustling hub of activity with neurotransmitters constantly sending signals back and forth. One of these is adenosine, a neurotransmitter that promotes sleep and relaxation. As the day progresses, adenosine levels rise, gradually making you feel more and more tired. Enter caffeine. Caffeine's structure is similar to adenosine's, allowing it to bind to adenosine receptors in the brain, but unlike adenosine, caffeine doesn't cause drowsiness. Instead, it blocks the receptors, preventing adenosine from binding and making you feel tired. This effectively puts the brakes on the sleepiness train, leaving you feeling more alert and awake. But that's not all. With adenosine blocked, other neurotransmitters like dopamine and glutamate can now have a field day. Dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, increases in activity, enhancing your mood. Glutamate, the main excitatory neurotransmitter, also gets a boost, promoting cognition and memory. So as you relish your morning brew, remember it's not just a cup of coffee, it's a carefully orchestrated symphony of biochemical reactions that help kickstart your day, enhance your mood, and boost your mental performance. No wonder we love it so much. Now you know why your morning cup of joe can kickstart your day like nothing else. Is your daily dose of caffeine doing more harm than good? Or does it have some hidden health benefits? Coffee, the world's favorite morning pick-me-up, has been a subject of debate for years. On one hand, it's hailed as a mood booster, a memory enhancer, and even a potent weapon against a host of diseases. On the other hand, it's often painted as a villain that causes insomnia, increases heart rate, and contributes to anxiety. Let's debunk some myths. You may have heard that coffee is dehydrating, but recent research suggests otherwise. While it's true that caffeine has a mild diuretic effect, the amount of water in a cup of coffee is enough to offset any fluid loss. So no, your beloved Java isn't draining you dry. And what about the claim that coffee stunts growth? Well, that's a tall tale. There's no scientific evidence to support this. So rest easy, your height is safe regardless of your coffee consumption. Now let's spill the beans on some potential health benefits. Studies have shown that coffee can boost your mood and mental performance. It's not just about feeling more awake. Caffeine can actually enhance certain cognitive functions, improving reaction times, vigilance, attention, and logical reasoning. Moreover, coffee is packed with antioxidants which can help combat oxidative stress in the body. Some research even suggests that coffee drinkers may have a lower risk of serious health conditions like type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, and liver disease. But remember, like anything else, moderation is key. For most people, 3 to 4 cups a day seems to be the sweet spot. Beyond that, you might start to experience some of the less desirable effects of caffeine, such as jitteriness or trouble sleeping. So the next time someone questions your coffee habit, you can tell them it's not just about the caffeine kick. It's also about the potential health perks. And while it's not a magic elixir, it's certainly not the villain it's often made out to be. Turns out your coffee habit might be actually doing you some good. Ever wondered why coffee doesn't work the same way for everyone? Why some people seem immune to its effects while others get jittery after just one cup? Well, it's all in the genetics. You see, our bodies are like unique machines, each running a bit differently from the other. This diversity is due in part to our genes, those little bits of DNA that dictate everything from our hair color to how we metabolize substances, including caffeine. There's a gene called CYP1A2, which is responsible for producing an enzyme that breaks down about 95% of the caffeine we consume. Now, some of us have a version of this gene that makes us fast metabolizers. If you're in this group, your body breaks down caffeine quickly, allowing you to enjoy your coffee without feeling overly wired. On the flip side, there are slow metabolizers. These individuals have a version of the CYP1A2 gene that metabolizes caffeine at a much slower pace. So, for them, that same cup of Java can lead to a racing heart, nervousness, or even trouble sleeping. But it's not just about how fast or slow your body processes caffeine. There's another gene called ADORA2A that influences how you actually react to caffeine. Some people have a variation of this gene that makes them more likely to feel anxious or jittery after consuming caffeine. And then there's the matter of tolerance. Just as with many substances, the more regularly you consume caffeine, the less sensitive your body becomes to it. This means you might need more and more coffee to achieve the same alertness over time. So when it comes to coffee, it's a bit of a genetic lottery. Some of us are genetically wired to enjoy its benefits without the downsides, while others might feel its effects more intensely. So it's not about the coffee, but how your body processes it. Scene script. Should you let your children have coffee? What's the right age to start drinking coffee? Let's delve into this sensitive topic. Coffee, as we've established, is loaded with caffeine, a stimulant that works wonders on the adult brain. But when it comes to children and their developing brains, the story is a little different. To understand this, we need to think about what caffeine does. It blocks adenosine receptors in the brain, keeping us alert and awake. Now, in a child's brain, which is still forming and developing, this disruption could potentially have different effects. Some studies suggest that caffeine can affect a child's concentration and sleep, two crucial elements for their growth and development. However, this doesn't mean that a single sip of coffee will wreak havoc on a child's system. What matters is the quantity and frequency of caffeine intake. A child sipping a parent's latte occasionally probably isn't cause for concern. However, regular consumption of caffeine, whether from coffee or other sources like energy drinks and soda, might be a different story. So what's the right age to introduce coffee? Well, there's no universally agreed upon age. Some health experts suggest waiting until the late teens, around 17 or 18 years old, when the brain's development has significantly progressed. Others say that moderate amounts can be introduced in the early teens, around 12 or 13, but remember, moderate is the key word here. Even as teenagers, their bodies are still growing, and too much caffeine can potentially interfere with that. It's also worth keeping in mind that coffee can be a source of added sugars if it's consumed with cream and sugar, which can lead to other health concerns. In the end, the decision to introduce coffee to a child's diet should be a well-informed one. It's crucial to consider the child's overall diet, their sleep patterns, and how they might react to caffeine. The key is moderation and understanding how coffee can affect young, developing bodies. Looking for a caffeine fix without the coffee? Ever heard about taurine and how it works in the brain? In our quest for energy and focus, many of us reach for a cup of coffee. But what if we told you there are other ways to get that same boost, without the jitters or the mid-afternoon crash? Enter the world of caffeine alternatives. One of the most popular alternatives is green tea. Revered for centuries in places like China and Japan, green tea is not just a calming beverage, it's a source of a unique compound known as taurine. What's the difference between taurine and caffeine, you ask? Well, the two are similar in structure, but they have some key differences in how they interact with your brain. Caffeine is a bit of a brute. It barges into your brain and blocks a neurotransmitter called adenosine, tricking your brain into thinking it's not tired. This might sound great, but it's a bit like jumping into a cold pool. The shock can be jarring. Taurine, on the other hand, is more like easing into a warm bath. It also blocks adenosine, but it does so more gently and slowly. The result is a smoother, longer-lasting energy boost without the sudden crash. Plus, green tea is also packed with antioxidants known as catechins, which have numerous health benefits. But green tea isn't the only coffee alternative. There's also matcha, a type of powdered green tea that packs a serious taurine punch. Or you could try yerba mate, a traditional South American drink that's similar to tea, but with a flavor profile more akin to coffee. Of course, no one is saying you have to give up coffee entirely. It's all about finding what works best for your body and your lifestyle. Maybe it's a cup of coffee in the morning and green tea in the afternoon. Or maybe it's ditching the coffee altogether and embracing the slow-release energy of taurine. There's more than one way to get that energy boost you crave. So what's the bottom line? Is coffee a friend or foe? We've explored the magic of coffee, how it works its charm on our brains, and the potential health benefits it might offer. But we've also delved into the downsides of overconsumption, and the fact that for some, a cup of joe just doesn't do the trick. In essence, coffee is a bit of a conundrum, a complex brew, if you will. It's neither wholly good nor bad. It's a potent mix of pros and cons, shaped by our individual biological responses and lifestyle choices. In the right amounts, coffee can be a health ally. It can help boost your mood, increase alertness, and even offer some protection against certain diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. But remember, these benefits are most likely to surface with moderate consumption, about 3 to 4 cups a day. On the flip side, excessive coffee intake can lead to jitteriness, insomnia, and even increased heart rate. This is where individual tolerance comes into play. Some people can have a double espresso after dinner and sleep like a baby, while others might spend the night staring at the ceiling after a mid-afternoon cappuccino. What about the younger lot? Well, it's generally advised to keep children and adolescents away from caffeine. Their brains are still developing, and the effects of caffeine on this process are not fully understood. And for those who can't or choose not to drink coffee, there are alternatives. We've discussed theine, a compound found in tea that works similarly to caffeine, but with a more gentle effect on the brain. In the end, it all boils down to balance and understanding your body's reactions. It's about making informed choices. Coffee, like any other food or drink, can be part of a healthy lifestyle if consumed responsibly. Whether you're a coffee lover or not, understanding how it affects your brain can help you make more informed choices. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you don't miss our new videos. Leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments.